The timing of my arrival in this book was perfectly convenient. The male lead had just been assigned by my father to be my bodyguard. He silently agreed. But I knew from having read the entire story that he wasn't at all pleased. The male lead believed in strength above all else. And he looked down on me. This delicate little miss who couldn't even stand up to a breeze. To make matters worse, I was spoiled and loved nothing more than teasing him, something that made the male lead despise me even more. But since he had to repay a debt of gratitude, he swallowed his bitterness, growing colder and quieter with each passing day. That's exactly what gave the female lead, this illegitimate daughter, the chance to save him. She used all her heart and soul to fight against me. Now that I'm here, though, she's not going to get away with it. I went straight to my father and suggested a match between me and the male lead. The first one to knock the other down wins. Winner takes charge. On the training field, I stared blankly at the handsome boy across from me and declared out loud, "Bring everything you've got, I won't hold back." The boy narrowed his eyes slightly, then silently settled into a fighting stance. "Begin." With the command, the match officially kicked off. First, the boy was careless, but as I pressed forward, he gradually grew serious, until I finally caught his opening and landed a punch right on his left cheek. The boy let out a low grunt, stumbled backward a few steps, and crashed into the railing. He stared at me in shock. "You?" I raised one eyebrow, my voice cool and distant. "Leo, you lost." From that moment on, I officially became Leo's boss. After that, he kept challenging me, and even inspired others in the gang to test their skills against me, yet every single one ended in defeat. After all, I was once a top-tier martial arts master in my past life. To me, this outcome wasn't surprising at all. But when Leo found out I'd gotten hurt by accident during one match, he couldn't help but ask, "Why do you always go all out?" I shot him a quick glance, my expression firm. "I know you've never respected me. You're not the only one who thinks I'm just a rich kid who wastes money. The reason I gave it everything today wasn't just for you. It was to prove to everyone that my father's daughter isn't some useless girl." His expression shifted slightly, a hint of guilt flashing across his face. After a brief silence, he spoke sincerely. "I'm sorry. I misjudged you all along." But I waved him off. "I don't need an apology. I need loyalty." Leo froze, caught off guard. I held his gaze, each word deliberate and clear. "Leo, I want you to swear, never betray me." The moment the words left my lips, Leo didn't hesitate. He dropped to one knee at my feet, his expression resolute. "Leo, swear that I will never betray my lady, Amelia, for as long as I live." I watched him, a slow smile spreading across my lips. Leo was someone who took his promises seriously. Once he gave his word, he'd never go back on it. Winning a man's heart takes more than one step. First, you become the lion, then the kitten. I broke him first with strength, then won him with my presence. Father or not, frankly, I don't care that much. But honestly, I'm just curious now. I've already got the upper hand. What's the heroine supposed to do now? Before I knew it, 5 years had passed. I'm a third-year student now, but I've already taken over part of my father's business and moved into an apartment close to campus. But today, I got suddenly called back home by my father on the phone. Sitting in the car heading back to the villa, I lightly curled my lips. "Leo, something interesting's going to happen today." Leo's deep eyes settled on my face, his voice low and firm. "I'll protect the lady no matter what." I raised an eyebrow, my smile sweet as honey. "Hey there, handsome. Your leading lady is about to make her entrance today. I'll just have to see if this plot can actually be turned around. If it can't, I guess I'll just have to kill you. After all, my identity might be fake, but the years of hard work behind it. I'm not handing that over to anyone. As soon as I stepped into the villa, I spotted the girl sitting beside my father at once. She was wearing a pink dress, her eyes big and glistening, clinging to her father's arm with a look of quiet helplessness. Father gently held her hand, but his eyes turned sharp with warning as he looked at me. "Amelia," he said coldly, "this is your younger sister Lily. From now on, she'll be the second mistress. You must look after her. Jade and pearls." Like jade? Like pearls. It was clear father truly cherished her. I smiled faintly, stepped forward toward Lily, raised my hand and slapped her across the face. Everyone in the room froze, and my father stepped protectively in front of Lily, his voice low and furious as he snapped, "Amelia, what are you doing?" Lily clutched her face, tears streaming down her cheeks like a lotus blooming from clear water, so tender it made your heart ache. How pitiful. If I hadn't known the true nature behind this woman's schemes, I might have been fooled too. I lifted my gaze and stared straight into father's without fear, speaking coldly. "Father, hiding a bastard is one thing, but bringing her home. Don't you think that's insulting me?" Father was furious and slammed the table hard. "Amelia, are you trying to rebel? How dare you speak to me like that?" Leo stepped in front of me instantly. Seeing that, father's face turned even paler. I gave a calm wave of my hand, and only then did Leo slowly step back behind me. "Besides, you've already brought the child back. How can you just leave the mother out in the cold like this?" As I spoke, I slowly stepped closer to Uncle Lucas, the elder of the gang and father's right-hand man. I threw a stack of photos straight into a woman's face and flashed a bright smile. "Luna, you've been having an affair with father for years. Your child is the same age as mine. Uncle Lucas, did you know about this?" Photos scattered across the floor, showing a man and woman in various intimate poses, stunningly shocking. Luna's face turned as pale as paper. She stumbled backward, tripped over nothing, and fell hard to the ground. But before she could even catch her breath, Uncle Lucas grabbed her by the hair and slapped her 3 times in rapid succession. Her face swelled instantly, and she kept stammering, "This is fake, it's not true." But when Lily saw her being beaten, she panicked and instinctively screamed, "Mom!" That was the final nail in the coffin. I burst out laughing. Your daughter just admitted it herself. Seeing the situation had gone too far, Father tried to step in and stop the scene, but fueled by rage, Uncle Lucas lunged at him, fighting fiercely with Father right there in the middle of the hall. The entire hall was in chaos. I watched the scene with a cold gaze, a faint smile tugging at my lips. "Leo, it's time we went." Leo nodded. But just as we reached the door, someone blocked our way. Lily glared at me. "You crazy woman. This whole mess is your fault." Then she turned to Leo, her eyes sparkling, a soft blush coloring her cheeks. "Leo, she's a bad woman. I'm here to save you." Before the words even finished, Leo had her by the throat and lifted her off the ground. Her expression was stunned, her face pale, eyes wide with fear as if she couldn't make sense of what was happening. I locked eyes with hers, my smile innocent and sweet, but my gaze as cold as a blade. "Good girl. Don't push me. When he loses it, he'll kill you." I never thought Lily would be so foolish as to provoke me right in front of everyone. Did she really think Leo would follow her? Besides, I've never hurt Leo in all these years. What's there to save him from? Unless she's still stuck in some old storyline. A sly glint flickered in my eyes as I thought of that. This game just got a whole lot more interesting. In the end, it all blew over. No one knew what Father promised Uncle Lucas, but he actually let it go. Father even threw a big banquet to officially announce Lily's status. As for Luna, Father would never be foolish enough to marry her. He might have feelings for her, but he cares way more about his reputation. He'd never let everyone know he's been having an affair with a subordinate's wife for years. That kind of man is just beneath contempt. Besides, Uncle Lucas let Father off the hook for the sake of profit, so he had no choice but to take his frustration out on Luna instead. Leo handed a few photos forward and said softly, "The CEO sent her abroad." In the pictures, Luna was saying goodbye to Father with clear reluctance, wrapped up tightly, but you could still see terrifying bruises on her skin, and she had to be helped just to walk. Looks like Uncle Lucas really wasn't holding back. I gently swirled my wine glass and said, "He can swallow pride for those above him, but shows no mercy to anyone beneath him. The worst part of being a man." I took a light sip and asked, "Her daughter's now officially part of the Meng family and will be a rightful heir. She's been working toward this for years. Why would she just leave so easily? What exactly did Father promise her?" Leo pulled out a napkin and gently dabbed the wine stain from my lip before replying. "The CEO promised her he'd bring her back in a few years, but privately gave orders that she's never to return to the country. After making sure I was clean." He didn't toss the napkin away, he slipped it into his pocket instead. I lifted my eyes to look at him, and he met my gaze with a completely calm expression, as if he'd done nothing at all. Fourth, it would have been more convincing if his ears weren't so red. I gave a small smile. Just then, a soft voice came from behind. "Sister." "Leo, what are you two talking about? You look so happy." I turned around to see my father in an elegant gown and Lily. Her eyes were locked on Leo, her cheeks tinged with a shy blush of admiration. I didn't like the idea of someone else eyeing what was mine, but I smiled anyway and said, "We were just talking about Luna." Seeing her face go stiff, my gaze flickered between her and my father, and I added with a hint of regret, "Little sister, didn't you know Luna was sent away? She's not coming back, ever." Lily forced a smile, her expression gentle. "It's Father's decision, I had no idea." I raised an eyebrow and exchanged a glance with Leo. So Lily knew about Father's orders forbidding Luna from returning to the country. Family bonds, seems, are nothing more than shallow ties. Lily's eyes drifted back to Leo, her voice trembling with innocence. "Father, I just got home and I'm really scared. Only if someone as strong as Leo protects me will I feel safe." A smile vanished from my face in an instant, and my expression turned dark at once. Father probably doted on her, or maybe he'd long wanted to weaken my power, and without hesitation ordered, "Then from now on, Leo will protect you." Lily's eyes lit up with joy. "Really? That's wonderful." She stepped forward, reaching out to hook her arm around Leo's. But I grabbed her wrist and said coldly, "I'm not going to do it." Father blinked. "What?" I stared at him, my voice sharper. "Leo belongs to me." Father's face hardened. He frowned and snapped, "Leo's never been your equal for years. What do you even need protecting from? Your sister's just arrived. As the elder sibling, can't you be a little more responsible? There's no room for negotiation," I said firmly. "After training him for years, he's not some gift to hand over to someone else. Besides, after all this time together, Leo's become like my right hand. Losing him wouldn't kill me, but it'd hurt deeply. And I don't like that at all. And especially not for Lily. Forget about all that. If I gave Leo to her this time, everyone would think I'm weak and easy to push around. That'd mean anyone could step on me without fear. I'm not interested in that at all." Lily saw her father's face turn ashen with rage and quickly reached out to support him, tears welling up in her eyes. "Sister," she said softly, "I know you can't accept me, but this household is still Father's to run. How can you be so controlling? Besides," her gaze shifted to Leo, Even if you look down on Leo, he's a person, not your possession. We should respect his own choice. Look down on Leo? I glanced at Leo, who stood expressionless, then suddenly smiled. Sure thing. Lily hadn't expected me to agree, shot me a quick look, and immediately rushed over to stand in front of Leo, speaking gently. Leo, will you come with me? I'll treat you so well. I promise no one will ever hurt you. Her eyes were full of hope, as if she were gazing at her true love. But Leo stepped back slightly in refusal and spoke firmly. I only wished to serve the young mistress. Lily was completely taken aback. Her expression froze instantly. Father glared at him in fury. Leo, how dare you defy my orders? Don't you remember who saved your life? But Leo didn't hesitate. He repeated each word clearly and slowly. Leo only wishes to serve the young mistress. Father exploded in rage, slamming the wine glass hard onto the floor. Leo! The glass shattered instantly, shards flying everywhere. Leo's face twisted in alarm, pulling me into his arms instantly. I was unharmed, but Lily was cut, red streaks tracing across her pale arms. She was furious and in pain, yet dared not lash out. I stared at the cut on Leo's cheek, my eyes burning with anger. I pushed Leo away and stepped toward my father. Seeing his cold expression, I remained completely unfazed. Don't push it too far. Father's face twisted in rage, his finger trembling as he pointed at me. Do you want to rebel? This is my Meng family. I let out a cold laugh. Father really was getting old. He couldn't see the situation at all anymore. After his scandalous affair came to light, and he threw that reckless party, resentment had already built up among many. And honestly, most people would rather follow a sharp-minded leader than an old man who's losing his grip. Otherwise, how could I be so bold? I gave a small smile. Of course not. I'm the most dutiful daughter. Then, lifting my eyes to glance at him, I sighed lightly. As long as you haven't made me mad yet. Father glanced around and realized his old allies were just watching coldly, no intention of stepping in. His face turned pale, then purple with rage, and he stormed up the stairs in a fit of anger. He left Lily all alone at the party. I smiled sweetly at her, and her eyes burned with intense hatred and jealousy. She looked like she wanted to tear me apart. Leo stepped in front of her line of sight. Lily's expression twisted slightly before she turned away and walked off. Back home in the car, Leo frowned slightly and looked down, saying, "Miss, she's acting strangely." I leaned against his leg, eyes closed, and blinked open at his words. Oh! Leo stiffened for a moment when he saw me open my eyes, then quickly recovered and explained calmly. She's completely certain you're bad to me. She's also reached out to me several times in private, asking me to leave you. I smiled gently, not at all surprised by his sharp insight. Maybe she really does know something. I closed my eyes again and let myself enjoy Leo's massage, thinking to myself, this is fascinating. Lily definitely isn't the heroine from the book I read. So is she a reincarnated soul? Or did she come from another world? And before long, the answer would be revealed. Lily came looking for me on her own. She stared at me with cold determination. I know you're not from this world. Let me tell you, you're the one who's supposed to be the heroine. Leo belongs to me. And no matter what you do, it'll all be pointless. You don't even stand a chance against me. Opponent. I set down my coffee cup and said calmly, "You're not even worthy to be my opponent." Lily's expression shifted, her voice sharp with tension. "Amelia, don't get too ahead of yourself. You're only holding an early advantage. But now that I'm here, I'll make sure everything gets back on track. Do you really think you can change the outcome just like that?" I stared at her coldly, saying nothing. Seeing how I completely ignored her, A twisted look of hatred flashed across Lily's face. Just wait and see. Everything I lost, I'll take back every bit. I blinked once, then gave a soft smile. Looking forward to it. Looks like Lily's a time traveler. First, she probably thought she was born to be the main character and didn't take me seriously at all. But now she's rushing to show off. She must have realized the story has changed. My influence is nothing she can shake easily. So what will she do next? Can't wait to see. That year, I finally joined the group and became general manager. But in truth, I'd already been running the company all along. The underworld scene just doesn't work anymore. It took me years of careful planning to clean up the gang's image and turn it into a public company. Now, the group is booming. Gang leaders have transformed into shareholders, making big profits every year legally too. No more living in fear like before. Fourth, I've earned everyone's loyalty. As for my father, he's still the CEO in name, but his power is long gone. At the shareholders' meeting, this was the 5th time they brought up handing over control. I watched my father's dull expression and couldn't help but smirk. Predictably, he came knocking right after the meeting ended. Lily was with him again. He spoke low and serious. Amelia, I'm willing to step down from the company, but there's one condition. I didn't look up. Just said coldly, if it's about arranging things for Lily, forget it. He glared at me and growled, do you really have to destroy her completely? She's your sister. I stopped writing, looked up, and saw the two of them clinging to each other, so pitiful, leaning on one another like they needed saving. I let out a bright smile. Dad, you really know how to joke. I don't even recognize you. I'm not exactly going to claim some illegitimate child as family. Father grew even more agitated. I slammed the pen down on the table, cutting him off mid-sentence. Father, I'm calling you father only because I don't want this to get messy and ruin Ming family's reputation. But I stared coldly at both of them, my eyes flashing with anger. You should know better. After all those times in recent years when you sent assassins after me, there's been no father-daughter bond between us for a long time. Their faces paled. Lily stared at me in shock. How? How did you find out? I didn't respond to her. Instead, locking eyes with my father and speaking sharply. Father, Ming family isn't under your control anymore. Choose walk away with dignity, or be thrown out. I'm giving you one chance. My father stared at me, stunned and furious, but I held his gaze without flinching. After a long silence, his expression darkened. He turned wordlessly and left the office. Lily quickly followed after him. Once they were gone, Leo's eyes narrowed slightly, a dangerous glint flickering in their depths. I should have killed him. I should kill them both. I stood up and gently brushed my fingers across his cheek. He blushed involuntarily, but I wore a tender expression, no trace of the cold fury from earlier. Death would be too easy for them. That's not what I want. If they don't start trouble, I won't either. Since Father and Lily dared to target me again and again, trying to kill me, then they'd better be ready to get crushed by me. After that day, Father didn't step down from the company group. And I wasn't in a hurry either, because something much more interesting had just happened. Breaking news. Stock Queen Lily bets big on Shusha Pharmaceutical. Investors are jumping in. Shusha Pharmaceutical's stock skyrocketed by hundreds of millions within 10 hours. Experts warn, investing carries risks. Don't blindly follow the crowd. Lily's name was trending high on Weibo. Lily's been popping up online almost non-stop over the past 6 months. She's placed multiple bets on the stock market, and every single time she hits it big. Word spread fast, turning her into a legend, supposedly never wrong with her picks. Now she's the most anticipated stock guru among investors. Many experts have warned against blindly following her. But nobody's listening. I checked the comments section, sure enough. It was all worship of Lily and mocking of professionals. What a waste of an expert. Last time he said not to jump in. But look what happened, my friend made tens of millions overnight. That so-called expert probably already bought in himself. Lily's so amazing. She never misses a win. I'm an idiot for ever listening to fake experts. A flood of reporters showed up as soon as they heard the news, all scrambling to get an interview with Lily. Ms. Lily, we heard you bet on Xuxia Pharmaceutical this time, and thousands of investors have already followed your lead. What would you like to say? Lily gave a faint smile, her eyes full of confidence. Thank you for your trust. Investors. This time's result will definitely exceed everyone's expectations. Her air of complete certainty only fueled even more heated debates among her diehard fans. I shut off the TV and chuckled to myself. I like her confidence. Xuxia Pharmaceutical really does have huge room for growth. This one's a guaranteed win. Leo flipped through the stock market on his tablet, then looked up at me and said, Miss, should we release the information we've gathered? I waved my hand dismissively. Wait a bit longer. Let's wait for something more entertaining. As expected, after one cycle passed, Xuxia Pharmaceutical's stock shot up dramatically, becoming a major surprise winner. Investors who followed Lily's lead made huge profits, while those who didn't were left kicking themselves in regret. Lily's fame skyrocketed overnight, even surpassing that of top celebrity influencers. News outlets and media reports were all eager to get Lily on board for interviews. On the reality show, Lily teared up, her voice trembling with innocence. My sister once asked me who I'd bet on next. Her expression was terrifying. I couldn't bring myself to say anything. I never thought she'd threaten me into sharing my betting info only with her. I just don't want to leave Dad. In an instant, the internet was flooded with outrage against Meng Group and me. Shocking. Exposing the Meng family's dark secrets. Meng family's eldest daughter has been running Meng Group in secret for years. Amelia pressured Lily into not influencing investor trends and forced her to leave the Meng family. I didn't have the PR team shut down the reports. Instead, I let the rumors spread. In fact, I even reached out to reporters myself for an interview. Ms. Amelia, what would you like to say about the online rumors? Did you threaten Lily not to share her betting information with anyone else? I nodded. Yeah, I did. Are you trying to keep it all for yourself? Keep it all. I gave the reporter a sideways glance, sneering. Please, when has our Meng family ever cared about such small change? The journalist froze for a moment, then turned a deep shade of red. Meng Group is a public company. Why would we even care about millions or tens of millions in small stakes? I scanned the room, my expression serious. The stock market is unstable. Invest with caution. If investors suddenly flood into one particular stock, it'll inevitably disrupt the balance of the market, and in worst cases, even trigger a crash. Are any of you really eager to live through another bubble economy? Well, the financial reporters around me exchanged uneasy glances, but none could come up with a reply. I went on, chasing trends is dumb. Betting so confidently on market wins and losses that you follow the herd. Even dumber. I'm just her sister. A regular player in this market, just giving a warning. You're welcome to listen or not. It's up to you. With that, I turned to leave. But the entertainment reporter stepped forward and called out anxiously, what about those rumors of her being sidelined? Why isn't there a second daughter's position in the group? Isn't this your deliberate move to kick her out? I turned back, faced the camera with a cold smirk. A bastard child. How dare she even dream of joining the company? Those words instantly exposed Lily's true identity. That set off Lily's delusional fans in the crowd. They waved knives and charged at me. You can't insult our goddess of stocks, die. Leo's expression shifted instantly. He kicked the man clean across several meters. The bodyguard surged forward in an instant, pinning him to the ground. I didn't even glance back, just walked away with Leo, leaving behind a trail of silence. After this interview, Lily's status as an illegitimate child was impossible to hide anymore. The internet buzzed with speculation. But right then, Lily placed another bet. Still on Xuxia Pharmaceutical. Naturally, a wave of investors rushed in as well. At the same time, I said, Leo, have the company issue a statement cutting ties with her. Yes. I glanced up and caught sight of the bruise on Leo's lip, my brows flickering slightly. You're hurt. Leo instinctively turned his head. It's nothing. Just a scratch. I pulled out the first aid kit and said, come here. No need. Leo hesitated, looking a bit embarrassed. I stared at him coldly and said in a low tone, Leo, do I have to repeat that? Leo blinked, then gave in and sat down beside me. I gently dabbed the antiseptic on his lip. You went to the martial arts hall again? The training hall is where the Meng family cultivates talent. Leo's at the top of the list, so he has to go every week to spar with challengers. But growing up, he's only ever lost to me once. Getting injured is common, but being hit in the face, that's new. Yes. I raised an eyebrow. Those guys weren't even a match for you. How did you get hurt? Leo stayed quiet for a moment before saying, I was distracted. I gave a small smile. Thinking about me? Yes. Leo stared at me, close enough to feel my breath. His face turning slightly red, but he didn't look away. I pressed my forehead against his, and softly brushed my lips against his mouth. A bitter taste of medicine lingered on my lips. I wrapped my arms around Leo's stiff body, resting my shoulder against his chest and listening to the steady rhythm of his strong heartbeat as I whispered, Leo, never betray me. If you do, I'll kill you. Leo pulled me close in return, his voice sincere, almost reverent. I'd never betray you. My master. I didn't say a word, but my lips curved upward. My heart finally felt at peace, savoring this brief moment of calm and warmth. Finally, I spoke softly. Send the documents out in 3 days. I was done waiting. This game. Oliver from Xuxia Pharmaceutical was exposed for having a secret relationship with Lily, and many started to suspect that Lily kept betting on Xuxia because of their romantic connection. But even faster came the news that Oliver was going to propose to Lily. On the day of the proposal, I was invited to attend. I witnessed the lavish engagement celebration firsthand. I watched coldly as Lily teared up, overwhelmed with emotion. After stepping down, Lily walked forward with Oliver and stood in front of me, smiling confidently. Amelia, even without Leo, I still beat you. Oliver was truly a rising star in the business world, on top of his game, far beyond anything Leo could ever match. But to me, Leo didn't need to be compared with anyone at all. I gave a small smile and said, Congratulations. Lily noticed my calm expression, then glanced at Leo with a hint of resentment. Leo, you're gonna regret this. But Leo didn't even glance her way. Lily clenched her wine glass tightly, furious. Throughout the entire banquet, she was busy mingling with various bosses and CEOs, fluttering around like a butterfly. She didn't notice at all that a woman in the corner of the party was glaring at her with pure hostility. I gave Leo a quick glance, and he understood immediately, then walked toward the woman. After Lily and Oliver became an engaged couple, she started frequently showing off their relationship on various TV shows. But during one live broadcast, a woman suddenly barged into the studio with a group of people behind her. Everyone in the room was shocked. Security rushed to intervene, but they were quickly overpowered by the people following her. The whole studio fell silent in shock. The woman scanned the room, her eyes locking onto Lily and Oliver. She stormed straight toward them and started yelling angrily. "Lily! You little homewrecker! How dare you steal someone else's husband? Do you even have any dignity? You rotten bastard! You abandoned your wife and child just to make room for some gold-digging floozy. You're all scum. You too. How dare you show off your fake love like this?" Lily and Oliver froze in shock, their faces turning pale. They tried to explain, but the woman wasn't having any of it. With a single command, her group grabbed both of them and started beating them up without mercy. Chaos erupted completely in the studio. The whole scandal spread live to viewers everywhere, reaching millions within minutes. It sparked a massive online debate, drawing millions into the conversation. I couldn't stop laughing at the sight of the cheating couple scrambling away on live stream. Leo gently rubbed my stomach, worried I might laugh too hard. I said with a smirk, "These people really know how to deliver." Isabella spent decades as a homemaker, powerless and overlooked. When she was cast out by the Xiao family, no one came to her aid. I felt sorry for her and stepped in, giving her some support. Clearly, she didn't let me down. That night, Lily called me. "You did this. It was you, wasn't it?" "Me? I'm the one behind all this?" I let out a cold chuckle. "The talent for being a mistress must have come from your parents. Nothing to do with me." Lily screamed furiously on the phone. "Amelia, you cruel person. I'm going to get revenge on you." I didn't get angry. Instead, I smiled coldly. "Lily, hold on tight. Without a lead actor, how could this drama go on?" Lily, both an illegitimate daughter and a mistress, had all her past scandals exposed online. Suddenly, she became infamous. To clear her name, Lily started placing bets constantly, hoping to win back public trust through sheer luck. She could only bet on her future by relying on her knowledge of what's to come. I calmly flipped through the documents. Too bad for her this time. She's bound to be disappointed. Xuxia Pharmaceutical was exposed for conducting inhumane human experiments, cutting corners on emergency medications under its name, causing patients to suffer and die painfully. Even their flagship medical devices were shoddily made and of terrible quality. As soon as the news broke, Xuxia's stock plummeted overnight, turning countless investors' fortunes into smoke. Then, CCTV publicly criticized Lily for encouraging betting and suspected her of being a foreign spy, leading to her arrest. Although the investigation found no evidence of treason, Lily's reputation was completely destroyed. She became public enemy number one. Especially the followers who jumped in blindly, many of them would have happily torn her apart if they could. I thought she'd be hiding at home, too afraid to show her face, but turns out, she came looking for me herself. Her face was pale as paper, eyes bloodshot and hollow. She looked like she'd aged a decade in just days. "Amelia, this was all you're doing?" I said calmly, "Yes. Took me quite a bit of effort." Her eyes flashed with a mix of anger and sorrow. Then she covered her face and burst into tears. "Why are you always after me? I've already left the company. I don't want anything from you anymore." "Is that so?" I said coldly. Lily dropped to her knees before me, nodding frantically. "Please, just give me some money to leave the country. I promise I'll never come back. I beg you." She looked up at me with genuine earnestness, as if I were her only hope in the world. "Too bad I'm not. I'm a monster who takes lives." I lifted her chin, studying her pitiful expression, then let out a sudden scornful laugh. "And even steal confidential documents?" Her face turned whiter than paper in an instant, her whole body trembling as she whispered, How did you find out? When did you know?" I shoved her face away and wiped my fingers carefully with a handkerchief, as if I'd touched something filthy. "I knew from the very beginning. You fool. Think about it, what made me able to kick your father out? It wasn't luck. It was power. I looked down at her with cold superiority. My smile was like that of a beautiful serpent, gorgeous, yet laced with venom. The kind of power that brings greater returns. Lily seemed frozen by the shock of it all, her eyes wide and vacant. I let out a cold laugh. This is business, no childish games. No celebrity drama. People don't care about rumors, they only care about profit. And I can give them that. So tell me, why would they betray me for some nobody who couldn't even get into the company? Her eyes narrowed with fury as she voiced her confusion. But why did they agree? Good girl. I was just messing with you. My smile deepened as I said casually. Otherwise, life without a single surprise would be awfully boring. Her eyes turned bloodshot instantly. She charged at me wild with rage, screaming at the top of her lungs. No way! No way! I'm the heroine here, I can't lose. But before she could even reach me, I landed a punch right in her stomach. She let out a sharp cry and curled up on the floor. I watched her pathetic state with cold eyes, then gave a quiet laugh. There's no such thing as a born heroine. This world always belongs to the victors. I told Leo to toss her out. Even from far away, I could still hear her agonized screams. Too bad nobody cared. Her fiancé had already been arrested right after the truth came out, facing life in prison. And her father had given up on her long ago. She was utterly worthless now. I watched Leo approach from a distance, then stepped forward and hugged him. Leo, it's all over. When I first arrived in this world, I was completely alone. If I didn't take control of my fate, I'd just be dragged along by the story's plot, ending in failure. My blood and rage turning me into nothing more than a backdrop for the heroine. So all I could do was plan carefully, always chasing bigger gains. And Leo, as the main character, was just another tool I used along the way. But over the years we've been together, what started as cold calculation slowly turned into real feelings. I know now I can't live without him. I don't know what the future holds, but I've never lied to him. If he ever betrays me, I swear I'll kill him. Leo pulled me close, wrapping his arms around me, and gently kissed my forehead. It's not over. There's still more between us. This isn't the end. I looked up and kissed him softly on the lips. Yeah, our life together. The heroine isn't born that way, she's made. No matter when or where. The winner takes all. That's the rule.